This past Sunday, we got a phone call that one of the guys in our program who we had to dismiss for some rule violations had been gone from us for about 40 days, died of an overdose. And tomorrow we're going to his funeral up in Indiana. His parents had to come down from Indiana and claim the body and go through that tragedy. We've had 5 guys lose their life in this battle so far since we've been working with guys. And that's the sad and difficult and painful part. I believe and I'm confident that even that young man, the gospel message was sown in his life when he was with us. But on the other side, one of the great joys within 1 week is I get to introduce Jeremy Mitchell to you. And I know Jeremy's been a part of this family for a long time. But Jeremy's really allowed this gospel message to be sown in his life in a way that he has decided to really let it take hold and to be involved in changing the lives of others. And I want Jeremy to share with you his story briefly so that you can really capture the vision and really what this ministry, The Way, is all about. Jeremy?
First start off by saying it's good to be home. It's good to be back. It's been a while. I think it's been probably 6 or 7 years. We're good now? Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. Well, first off, I want to say it's good to be home. It's been 6 or 7 years since I've been in here. I will also start off by saying thank you all to all the wonderful people that are in here, and to my family, because if it wasn't for my family, it wasn't for people in this church, this opportunity wouldn't have taken hold like it did. The training that y'all gave me, the teaching that you gave me, really set in my heart once I came back to The Way. This is a very painful subject for me. Here, because I respect y'all very highly and I have a deep love for y'all. But it's something that I need to say and I feel that y'all need to hear. I'm going to explain how I turned guardrails in my life into hurdles. And as fast as the guardrails can be put up in my life, I was jumping over them. And I'm going to explain to you all where that took me. Like I said, I grew up in this church. I was here every Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. To tell you kind of about a little bit of my age, I believe Lee Mama was still the youth minister, at least in my middle school years. Which it's been a long time since you've done that. Anyways, from a very young age, I felt like I was a day late and a dollar short. I had gotten a feeling sown in my heart that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't strong enough. That if people really knew who I was, they wouldn't accept me. When I was a child, some of y'all know, some of y'all don't, I had epilepsy. I had to take medication that slowed down my learning process in elementary school. Even though it was the medication that slowed down my ability to learn, and when I got off of it I was okay, I still felt like I wasn't as smart as everybody else. My wonderful dad here in the crowd. It's one of the greatest men I know because he did something for me he didn't have to do. And he gave me his last name and he raised me like one of his. But even with him doing that, I knew that there was a man that was supposed to be in my life that wasn't there. So that made me feel like I wasn't worth it. That I wasn't capable of being loved. Now, granted, all this was not true. It was a lie that I allowed to grow in my heart. Because of that lie, I wanted to find a way very quickly to solve that problem. So the first thing I did was I would tell y'all whatever I needed to tell y'all to get you to like me, to get a superficial love from y'all. I began lying at a very early age. I learned through lying that I could mentally manipulate people and I could conjure up and control a situation. That was the first hurdle, guardrail into a hurdle. Once that happened, you know, I had some consequences. Dad would whoop my butt every once in a while when he catch me there. But I also realized that if I just kept on lying, I could get them to like me again. So the sin thing wasn't that bad. You know, some sins are bad, some aren't. I can do a little bit here and there. And that led me to the next thing. See, I've been this tall since I was, what? 4th grade, at least in 4th grade. 14 or 15 years old. Okay? So if you can imagine being 6'5" and weighing 175 pounds, I wasn't a whole lot to look at. But I wanted girls to like me. So I started chasing girls, calling them on the phone, flirting with them. I just wanted people to like me. I wanted people to love me. I was not at all concerned at a young age if God loved me at all. Did not matter. Because see, this to me wasn't real, but this was. I didn't realize that I was a spiritual being having a human experience. I felt like I was a human being having a spiritual experience. So that went on. 13 years old, I started experiencing death for the first time. And that's a very big deal for a lot of people. I think for everybody. I didn't know how to deal with it in a healthy manner. See, I wanted y'all to like me, I wanted you to respect me, I wanted you to think like I had all my stuff together. So I didn't process my emotional pain. I didn't talk about it. I didn't let people see me hurt. So that was the first time that I picked up a joint. I picked up that joint and I took a hit and I said, this is what I've been missing. That's it. I feel what I've been looking for. Then I looked at God and, you know, I came in here every Sunday, I came in here every Wednesday. And he said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. I shook my fist at God and said, if you love me, you wouldn't have so many commandments. And say, I thought God was out to get me, and Jesus loved me. Another lie. That went on. Gave me a little bit of a sense of power. Say, I could come in here and play Christian with y'all. Iron my shirt, shave my face. Quote a few scriptures and everything will be okay. Fine. How you doing, Jeremy? I'm fine. Oh, is this my Sunday to serve communion? Just smoking bowl last night. That went on. I got into drinking. 15 years old is when I said, I know the Bible says that the sexually immoral will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. I know that's what it says, but is that what it really means? See, I can go over here and I can jump over this guardrail. And I can have my fun. And when I get older, I can jump back over this guardrail. And we can actually get down to brass tacks. It didn't work that way for me. See, I didn't understand that God was working out for my best interest. Because He loved me, He wanted me to have a full life. He wanted me to have His peace, but I didn't want it. That went on. I was very successful in school. I was very successful in sports. I gained popularity. I had the women that I wanted. I got to go to parties that I wanted to go to. But something was missing. That void inside of me was getting bigger. Guardrails. They weren't guardrails anymore. They were just hurdles. And they weren't this high, that's for sure, because I can't jump over this one if you had a gun stuck to my head. They were more like this. I could almost step over them at that point. Kept saying fine, shaking hands, smiling at you. But I saw something was missing. I was miserable. I went to a Christian college. I got a basketball scholarship to a Christian college. I said, you know what, if I go to a Christian college, it's my environment, it's not me. It's these people. It's the people at school that are messing me up. If I just go to a Christian school, everything will be okay. It wasn't okay. I did the same thing. It got worse because I didn't have y'all around me all the time. I wasn't worried about bumping into y'all walking down the street. I wasn't worried about having to see my mom and dad. I was 12 hours away. My mom and dad weren't going to be showing up out of nowhere. I quit going to class. I still bounced basketball. And I did that drug, and I did some more drugs, and I drank, and I drank, and I drank. I was miserable. My dad called me up on the phone and said, son, it doesn't seem like this college thing's really working out for you. I got a job opportunity that you possibly did. Maybe school's not your thing right now. There's a wonderful man in this fellowship named Major Ed Nixon. He made it possible for me to become a police officer. I went through that whole thing. I said, you know what, I'm going to come back and be a cop. If I come back and be a cop, cops don't do drugs. Cops don't really drink. They're upstanding men of the law. They uphold the law, they don't break it. I'm sure that the police officers that go to this fine church, I'm sure that they don't do that. But I've met quite a few that do. When I was a police officer, there was plenty of women, plenty of booze, plenty of drugs. I learned how to do things that I said I would never do. See, I jump over one guardrail, and I said, I'm not going to jump over that one over there. I smoked some weed, I popped some pills, but I'm not going to snort any cocaine. I went there. I got fired from the Huntsville Police Department. And the reasoning was they considered me to be a liability for the city of Huntsville. That was the most embarrassing moment of my life up to that point. And I said, you know what? If I just leave town, I gotta hurry up. If I just leave town, it's gonna be okay. I'll go live with my sisters. It wasn't okay. See, I thought I could live off my parents' faith. I thought I could go shake hands, dress nice, and everything would be okay. Make a long story short, because I've only got 5 minutes. I have done every drug under the sun because they put outside of a needle. I have been homeless. I've been locked up in a mental institution. I missed my aunt's funeral. I missed my sister's wedding because I was too high to go. I've caused a lot of pain to the point I couldn't even look myself at my own self in the mirror. That's because of people like y'all. It's because of the training that I have from my parents and the earnest prayers of the people in this room that one day maybe I'd get it. And every time that I put a pipe in my mouth, I was hearing, go home, go home, go home. But I didn't know where home was anymore. I got way too far over. So I came to the wedding. First time I met Mr. Reynolds, I was a sad sight. I was extremely inebriated. I came in there. I said, I don't need you to tell me how to be sober. I know how to be sober. What I don't know how to do is how to get a relationship with God. And that's what I'm here to do. I was ready to forsake everything in my life for the sake of Christ. Because it's all that mattered. Me and my wife's relationship was on the fritz. I had nowhere to live. I had a job I didn't care about, and I didn't know if I'd ever be employable again. I came away and I came to Christ. It says, seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. They have been added unto me. I've gone from the worst of the worst to a wretched person, to a beautiful child of God. A dearly loved child of God is what the Word of God says. And as I've been staying at the way, and I've been working with the way, and I've been studying with guys, God slowly bricked up the exit doors. And He built these higher. See, I can't afford to jump these guardrails. If I jump these guardrails, Mr. Reynolds just said, I could die. But my death won't start with when I hit the grave. My death won't start when I get separated from God. And then I will pass. But today I do have a passion for the guys that I work with. They are good guys. They are really good guys that make bad decisions, and they've been ensnared in traps that Satan has put out. And there's no place I would rather be than with men that have had pain like I've had, and help them to move forward in life. See, I know that the men that live at the way, they're fighters, they're survivors. They don't know how to quit, they don't know how to stop. Because most of us die, most of us end up in prison, but they ended up at the way of Christ-centered recovery program. That means they're winners in my book. And I know that if they get on fire from God, there's nothing that can hold them back. Because they weren't ashamed out there. They did what they did what they had to do to survive. If they're standing in righteousness and heading towards heaven, who's going to stop them? So I look forward every day when I wake up and I know I get to work with these young men. And I get to help them, and I get to share my story with them and where it went. I would just so you know, in my final thoughts, me and my wife are on the verge of divorce. I went to the way, I got saved. My wife today, the beautiful woman right there, she came to God as well. She had no God before this point. She studied with Tom's wife and came to know Christ and put him on in baptism. And so now today, not only am I a Christian, but I have a Christian household. And she so graciously allows me to do what I'm passionate for. And she backs me up, and she understands, because she makes more sacrifices than I do in order for me to do what I do. She doesn't get as much time as I'm sure she would like with me, so that I can work with these guys. And I love her with all my heart, and God restored that relationship. God restored my life. God restored my love. And that void that was as big as this gym is filled today. I wouldn't have it any other way but to serve Christ. Thank you for letting me share.
While you're standing, let's just stay standing. And